Oh, so you might be wondering, how did I end up in this situation? Being totally covered by water from this truck in this heavy rain. So I decided to take the 2.5 hour journey to Mandeville to get some supplies for my business. I left Savannah Lamar and it was raining cats and dogs already. But by the time I got to White House, I had second thoughts on completing the journey. But I eventually made up my mind that come hell and high water, I am going, because I need these supplies for the rest of the week. And if there's hurricanes coming, I will need to have stuff ready for preparation for my business. When I got to White House, it was already flooding. It was heavy rainfall, actually white rain, and heavy downpour with a little flooding already. When I got to the main White House Square, that's when it became crazier. The silt and stones and gravels from up in the hills started to come down into the road. Water coming from the hilly areas started to flood the streets and making it impassable. But me being determined, decide I'm going through. As I said, come hell or high water. So being determined to continue on my journey, I still made my way in the heavy rain and continued the journey. Please bear with me with the poor video quality. The day was really overcast and dark from the rain clouds and with the heavy rains. As I said, there were white rains, heavy downpour, so the video quality is really poor, and this is not the best camera. My GoPro is down at the moment, so my phone has to suffice, and the quality is not as good as it should be. So approaching the main town area, you can see the heavy water in the streets. No visible pedestrians because everyone is seeking shelter from the rain. I was of the thinking that once I get to St. Elizabeth, it would get dry, because the last time we had heavy rains in Westmoreland here, the parish of St. Elizabeth was very dry. Actually, real dry to the point that I was wondering, where is all the rain? Whoa! Oh! So it's a good thing my window was all the way up and not half cracked. You know, sometimes we do that to let in air, especially if we don't have AC. But my window was fully up, thank God for that. This truck just plummeted into the heavy water without slowing down, completely covered my car. Part of life. That's what you get for leaving the comfort of your home to go in heavy rains. But I guess you have to do what you have to do, right? Nobody's gonna do it for you, so here we go again. So I was anticipating a dry climate in St. Elizabeth, but whoa, lo and behold, to my surprise, it was even worse. Continuing the journey on the road, I started to wonder if the Holland Bamboo road would have been blocked. Normally when there's a heavy rains in the St. Elizabeth, Holland Bamboo becomes impassable because it gets flooded and then the bamboos fall in the street on the road. So I started to think that I would have to turn back, but then turn back to what? Remember, I'm leaving from Westmoreland that is already flooding. And of course, me and the road wasn't driving slowly because I had a place to catch at 4:30. So I know it's wrong to be driving like a maniac on the wet road. So if you see this, please do not try this. This is dangerous. Water was gushing from both sides of the road at one point, and you have to choose carefully whether you want to stay on the left or on the right. But that comes with big risks. You could get a puncture in one of those deep ditches because there's small stones and other debris, which could be bottles and other things that could puncture your tires or give you a skid, sending you into a drain or something. So it is very risky driving in such conditions. But let's see. So coming through Brompton, St. Elizabeth, my fears got exaggerated because if it's raining this much in this area, which is normally very dry, what is to be expected further into the parish? As I said, Holland Bamboo, etc., which normally is heavily flooded and blocked with bamboos falling. So I will speed up some parts of the video so it doesn't take too long. So don't think that it is me driving that fast. So middle quarters had it real bad. They got it bad. Water gushing from the hillside area heading to the swamp. onto the road, and of course the shrimp ladies are severely affected because apart from the heavy rain, the silt and gravel that's washed into the road, preventing their business from continuing for the day. I guess it's an early day for them. Visibility was so bad and poor, and heading into the middle quarter square that would take you to New Market area, all of the dirt and stones from that hill coming down end up right into the roundabout, which made navigating the thoroughfare really difficult and dangerous. So there was a police vehicle, blue lights flashing, a few cars ahead of me. And as I entered into Holland Bamboo, I realized that what I was expecting was not so. There was not as much water as I was predicting. So the water managed to run off to the sides. So there was a few places where I did pick up some speed and passed most of the vehicles, well, all of the vehicles that were ahead of me. So I finally passed the police vehicle and I skipped out recording some of the footage because my phone wasn't staying in place and it kept falling, so a lot of footage is missing. Heading into the Santa Cruz bypass, trailing behind this truck allow me to better navigate the road because I can see the high water areas that he eventually will pass through ahead of me. My predictions were half correct because Goshen and Pepper didn't have heavy rains on the road, and it allowed me to go on with myself some kind of way, and I did make good time. Heading into Hatfield, the slight rain is like a nice evening shower, slight shower. It's not as we experienced down in Westmoreland and some parts of St. Elizabeth. I don't know if it's because of the hilly terrain where the water runs off and dissipates or flow away somewhere, but there's no water buildup anywhere in Mandeville. Accomplish my mission in Mandeville and heading back out. And as you can see, the town of Mandeville is not so heavy with rain. Here ends my journey. Thank you for accompanying me, and we look forward to putting out more videos on the channel, so stick around, subscribe, like, and enjoy. Peace out.